Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm having a brand new video for you guys. It's the cargo operations on board the ship. I'm going to explain to you everything we do once the ship come alongside for cargo operations. Do watch it till the end. Guys, if you like my content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Guys, so my channel name according to me is very boring. It's just my name. So I was thinking that I should change it, I should baptize it. But I'm not able to come up with some good names. So somebody gave me an idea, why don't you ask your subscribers? So here it is me asking you to give me some suggestions for a new name for my channel, because now it's just my name. And all the guys who have already subscribed to me, they already know what my content is all about. My new subscribers, they're getting to know me, and I would be happy to hear from them. So let's begin, guys. As you can see, this is the main deck. And as you can see outside the ship, we are alongside in a port. This is the port of Antwerp and it's in Belgium. Cargo operations are on. This ship, Monaco Maersk, can carry 20,500 containers at a single time. All of you must have seen a container on a truck somewhere, someplace in your life, on the road, on a truck. So you can imagine 20,000 of those boxes on a ship, and hence you can imagine how big this vessel really is. So once the cargo is booked and a container is packed, usually what happens is it's brought by trucks into the port, customs etc. check it, and then it's got ready for loading and it's kept in stacks on the port. And you can see trucks which bring it alongside the ship, and these are cranes. The name of these cranes are called gantry cranes. These gantry cranes are only used for container ships. They have these spreaders, as you can see, which are connected to the containers, and it lifts it up and puts it on board the ship. You can see the trucks which are standing in a line very systematically. Ports are very systematic, no confusion. They're all coming in a line, one behind the other. And even the loading sequence is perfect. There are no containers which are placed in a wrong position. Every container position is planned right from before, so that there are no mistakes, and it is loaded as per the plan. Because it's like an aircraft, we can't put all the weight on one side and then put light on other side and put heavy on one side. Everything has to be equally balanced, and my job as a chief officer is to check that when the loading is complete, all the weights are equally distributed. The ship is still upright when the cargo operations is complete. That's why everything has to be loaded systematically as per the plan, which I check before we come in. We have a computer where you can check everything, the loading conditions, everything, so that everything is perfect and the cargo is loaded as per the plan. You can see the container was loaded by a gantry, by the spreader, and it was put inside the cargo hold. So there are two types of places where we load. One is in under deck and one is on deck. So as you can see, this is open to the cargo hold and it is loaded inside. And now you can see the hatch cover is being closed. So whatever containers are loaded on top of this, they will be called loaded on deck. And below that, underneath, it's loaded under deck. So coming to the next topic now, let's discuss about how these containers stay in place. We load so much in height, so the ship rolls at sea. So how? So you can see these twist locks. These are the things which are holding the container in place. Every container has 4 twist locks on the 4 supports. You can see at the end, and these are locked. Once they come and sit on these twist locks, they get locked. Here you can see the twist lock, and there is this lever. You see, we pull it and then it gets locked. And then it never moves. Only while discharging we have to open it again. You can see how it is done. So that's how it is. Now I'll show you from inside. See, now you open and it gets locked. Now the container cannot go anywhere. When it's open, when we have to discharge the container, we open it again. So pretty simple. That's how the container stay in place. So now you can see that the container is being loaded on top of another container. So those kind of twist locks are put at the bottom of this container which is being loaded, but this twist lock is a little different. It's a semi-automatic twist lock. So this, as soon as it sits, it automatically locks. So there's no human being who has to go and pull the string, and automatically it's designed in such a way that it locks by itself. It's called semi-automatic twist lock. So here you can see the hustle and bustle of the port. A lot of things going on together. Trucks are being moved, vehicles are being moved. The crane is moving over here. You can see this is how the crane moves into place. So it can load a particular bay. It comes and positions itself on a particular bay, and then it can load for that. So it can move also. So the cranes are not fixed. They can move in all directions. as you can see. Now it's coming closer to the bay I am standing on. So load in this bay. Hi! See, once the containers get lifted, you'll notice there are no twist locks under deck. We put the twist locks only on deck. Under deck, you don't need twist locks. Now you have cell guides, you see. Because of those guides, the containers don't move and all under the hold, inside the hold. And that's why you don't need any twist locks there. Once it goes inside the hold, it's stuck in with those cell guides. That's why you don't need any twist locks. So twist locks are used only on deck, not under deck. Under deck, we hold the containers via cell guides. Even load out of gauge cargo or cargo which is not containers, as you can see. So we have almost 8 ropes forward and 8 ropes aft holding the ship during the cargo operations. We don't want the ship to move away while the cargo operations is on. That will be a disaster. So we make sure that the ship is tightly held in place when the containers are being loaded and being discharged by these ropes and winches. You can see these machines which are holding the ropes, they are also very interesting. They are called winches and they have something known as auto tension. So if the line becomes slack, it will tighten it automatically, and if it becomes too tight, it will slacken it automatically. Here you can see a very hard-working crew member, ordinary seaman Vincent. Is checking the ropes to make sure that they haven't become slack or there's no failure in the auto tension system. So they take hourly rounds to make sure the lines are tight and the ship is always alongside. Here he's checking the spring lines. Spring lines, they are at the side of the ship to make sure the ship doesn't move forward aft in the forward aft direction. And there are other type of mooring ropes which are put in the bow and the stern section of the ship. And those lines are so that the ship doesn't move out. It stays alongside all the time. So these are the headlines, what they call headlines in the front of the vessel. Is making sure that it is tight so that it's not slack, and all the ropes are always holding the ship tightly so that the ship doesn't move out at any time. Here he's climbing up to check if the ropes are all looking good, and there are rat guards. We have rat guards also, so the rats don't come via the ropes on board the ship. So he's checking that the rat guards are in place. So he does all this regularly. He goes forward, aft, around the vessel, making sure that everything is in order and the ship is staying nicely alongside. So you can see we have 8 gearboxes. These small boxes, you can see they are part of the ship only. They are loaded. Once the loading is complete, they'll be loaded back. They belong to the vessel. This is where the twist locks are kept. So we store all our twist locks in this. We have like around 20,000, 21,000 twist locks. Imagine for each container we need 4 twist locks. So we have a lot, plus we carry some spares. Here you can see these numbers. So these are called bay numbers. So this is how the positions of the containers are given. So if you have a bay, they'll tell us, okay, the containers on bay 46 row. It is like a 3-dimensional position each container has. So it is called bay, row, tier. So bay, row, which row, and tier is how high it is placed. So every container has a position on board. So it is not randomly placed anyhow. So it's called the bay, row, tier system. Here you can see 20 footers, 40 footers, how it is, the difference. And you can see each container has a container number. Here I am showing you each MSKU, container number, identification. So everything is marked. You can easily, identify a container by a container number. Every container has a container number. Now let's come to the reefers. There are different kind of containers. These are called refrigerated containers. It's actually a fridge. The container is a fridge. So it carry perishables like fruits and fish, things like that which need to be transported in cold. We carry a lot of things in these containers. Bananas, wine, even alcohol is carried in refrigerated containers. So you can see these wires. That's how the power is given from the ship's generators. It powers up these reefer containers, refrigerated containers. If you see a white container on the road, it means it's a reefer container. All white containers are reefer containers. There you can see dangerous cargo reefers. If these stickers are there, means it has dangerous cargo inside. You can see UN number, and some diagonal stickers are there. This means that it is a dangerous cargo inside. So we carry dangerous cargo also, but we have procedures to where to place it and things like that. It's not placed anywhere. Here you can see a tank now. This is liquid. So we can carry tank, fuel, we can carry a lot of things. Anything in liquid form is loaded in a tank now. So this is also dangerous cargo. Here another example of dangerous cargo we have. That's the UN number. So You can see things like that. Who does the lashing on board ship? Of course, it's the stevedores, the dock workers. We don't do it on board. So dock workers, you can see their cars. They are all parked there. They come by the cars. They come on board with their lashing tools and they do the lashings. Here you can see the lashing guys putting on the lashings. They're standing on the lashing bridges and they're putting on the lashing bars. One of the main job of the deck crew is to make sure the housekeeping is good. So here you can see a very hardworking OS, Chris John. He is putting all the lashing bars which are out of place. He's putting that in place. So during his watch, he goes around the ship checking if everything is in place, so that it's mainly for the safety. So nothing is kept out of place. He does all this on board. Here you can have a closer look at the lashing bars and the turnbuckles what we have to do the lashings of the containers. But we don't lash all the containers, only certain height containers are lashed. The forces are calculated by the naval architects where the lashings are needed, where the forces will exceed. So only there the lashings are put. Here you can see the lashings are already put on. So they're put on into the slots of the containers. There are the small holes at the bottom, the feet of the container. There it's fixed in and the lashings are put on. So this is how the containers are made sure that it's kept into place at sea. When there is bad weather, they will not fall overboard. Here you can see the crew of Monaco Mars climbing up the lashing bridge, because their job is to come up and check all the lashings that they are put on and also they are tied, ready for sea. So he comes up every bay, every lashing bridge, and their job is to check that the lashings are tied and everything is in place so that we are ready to proceed to sea. We carry a lot of stock of these lashing rods, lashing bars, and a lot of twist locks in spare, because in case it gets damaged and all, we need to replace it. The ship should always be capable of carrying a full load, because whenever the ship departs from Asia, it's full, and when we depart, last port in Europe is also full. So we cannot have any excuses saying that we don't have any lashing gear to carry all these boxes. 20,500 containers means we have to carry 20,500 containers, taking the ship back to either Europe or Asia, so that the ship is fully loaded and economical for the owners. So these are the lashing bridges. On this ship there are 5 lashing bridges. You can imagine how high it is, and it's very big, this ship. You can see 5 levels of lashing bridges, including 2 Mickey Mouse. You can see on top there is more of the lashing bridges for the wind lashings. Once the cargo is completed, you can see the cranes boom up and they secure, so the ship is ready for sailing. So the cranes go in this position. That means it's finished. Here you can see duty officer on watch checking the situation of the cargo loading and discharging. They take regular rounds on the deck to make sure the loading and discharging is going on as per the plan, so that the vessel can sail on time. Other than the deck rounds, the duty officer, third officer, second officer have a lot of other work in the deck office. They have to manage the ballast. Ballast water is something we take to manage the loading. So in case there's a extra loading happening on one side, we have to manage the forces with ballast water. And this is what he's doing. He's pumping seawater into the tanks of the ship, keeping the ship upright at all times. At the same time, he has a lot of other administrative work, like checking of the dangerous cargo papers as well as filling of the logbooks regularly every hour, so that that is the only proof we have on the ship in court of law. That is our logbook. So logbook is filled regularly. Here the crew on deck also keep monitoring the cargo regularly. They keep taking rounds. They have loading discharge plans with them to make sure that all the cargo is being loaded correctly in the right place and on time, so that the ship can sail on time without any delays and without any losses to the owners. So we are continuously monitoring every step, every movement of cargo on deck, and making sure that everything is safe at all times. Here I come to the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share it with your friends, so they all come to know about this channel. And see you next time. Goodbye.